All right, so good day, everybody. So, as discussed, this will be our next topic for our subject business communication in an organization. So, our topic for this afternoon is entitled Effective Oral and Multimodal Presentation. So, for the learning objectives, Ms. Sumaway, can you please read? Thank you, Francine. So, class, these are the learning points that you should be able to acquire at the end of our discussion. So, moving forward, um, presentations are one of the many powerful ways to communicate. So when we are or when you become part of the industry in the future as a tourism student, you are bound to present with your clients, with your guests, with your customers. And presentations not only in the organization is essential, but also in the academe. As you can see on your different subjects, you are presenting, you are reporting different topics that your professors are assigning it to you. That's why presentations is considered as one of the powerful ways to communicate with your audience because you are sharing informations, ideas, and insights on the things that you are presenting to them. And this presentation, it helps us to tell a story or to explain a topic or persuade others. Now, there are different types of presentation. So, akala natin in our day-to-day interaction with people who are presenting ay pare-parehas lang yung kanilang agenda or yung kanilang objectives when they are presenting with the audience. But we have different types of presentations based on its purpose. So, ano-ano ba nga ba yung types ng presentation? The first one, we have informative presentations. We also have storytelling. We also have event recounts. And last but not the least, we also have persuasive presentation. Now, isa-isahin natin the definition and the um, what do you call this, meaning of this presentation and paano ba siya ginagawa or ginagamit when we are transferring informations and communications with our audience. Now, the first one is we have informative presentations. Now, before I discuss it to you, based on your understanding, when we say informative or information presentation, ano kaya yung goal natin when we are presenting our informations or our details kapag ang type ng presentation ay informative? Ano kaya yung gusto nating ma-deliver sa audience natin? Ah, Kate, kaya mo ba magsalita? Okay, sige. Kate. Mm-mm. Very good. Correct. Thank you, Kate. So, sorry. I am asking Kate if she will be able to speak kasi nagpabunot daw ng ngipin. Okay. So, informative presentation. So, tama yung sinabi ni Kate, class. When we say informative presentation, these presentations give information and facts about a specific topic. For example, an animal or a destination. For example, I am your professor. I give you a topic about uh, the history of Aguinaldo Shrine. Now, you're going to do your research about Aguinaldo Shrine because you have to make sure that the informations and the details that you will transfer to your audience are true and correct. So, hindi siya pwedeng fake news lang. It should be based on facts when we are transferring informations to our um, audience or to our listener. Now, another example of informative presentation. For example, you are going to present the history of travel. So, saan nga ba nagsimula ang traveling? Paano ba siya nagsimula? Sino ba yung unang nag-travel in the world? That's informative presentation because you are transferring information with your audience through facts. Okay? Now, can anyone give me another example of informative transportation? from the group that gives facts and correctness based on its details? May I call on Azel? Can you give me an informative presentation example based on its meaning? Azel? None? Okay, how about Aliyah? Okay, very good. Correct. That's a very simple explanation. Your professor is teaching you, giving you a lesson, giving you a discussion. That's information because we are transferring our knowledge to you based on our experience, and that's a fact. Okay, so thank you, Aliyah. Next, another type of presentation is storytelling. So, how storytelling presentation works, class? Anyone from the group? Storytelling presentation. So, ano yung goal natin dito? What we are trying to achieve? Aside from Aliyah, I want other hands. Miss Enko, Glyza. What is a storytelling presentation? Nan? Sige, Princess. Like, give me an example. Sige, hold on, Princess. I'm going to ask Ian. But correct, based on your presentation. Ian, sorry? Na? Okay, correct. Okay, very good. Thank you, Ian. So, correct, class. When we say storytelling, all you need to understand is from its word, storytelling. You are just sharing a story that there is a beginning, a middle, and an end. Okay, you can tell a fictional story or even your personal experience. So katulad ng sabi ni Princess at saka ni Ian, you are telling a story based on your experience as mentioned by Ian. Ma'am, people or places po kung saan ka nakapag-travel, kung saan ka nakapunta, what's your experience when you visit Thailand, for example, what's your experience when you took the exam of Ma'am Abby. That's a storytelling. You are telling a situation or experience that you encountered. Okay? Or casual. Halimbawa, nagkita lang kayo ng friend mo and then nagkwentuhan kayo. That's a storytelling presentation. You already presenting. However, your goal is to tell a story. Now, in storytelling presentation, you can tell a story, pwedeng fictional or hindi makatotohanan. Okay, gawa-gawang isip lang or kathang isip lang or even your personal experience. Okay? So example, the adventures of Marco Polo. So si Marco Polo isa siyang ano tawag dito, expedition travelers wherein isa siya sa mga nagsimula ng traveling sa mundo. Now, storytelling ng adventure ni Marco Polo, kinuwento niya doon sa The Book of Marco Polo or The Travel of Marco Polo, kinuwento niya doon ano yung mga pinagdaanan niya, ano yung mga na-experience niya while he is traveling around the world. So that's an example of storytelling presentation. Okay? Next, event recounts. Pag sinabi nating event recounts, anyone who can give me the definition and example, Atasha. Okay, pwede yon. So, event recounts meaning you are retelling your personal experiences or yung mga napagdaanan mo or na saksihan mo nung umattend ka ng isang event. So, usually, event recounts presentation, meron siyang feelings involved based dun sa event na inatinan mo. Kinukwento mo siya dun sa iba. Ma'am, anong difference ng event recounts sa storytelling? They are both telling a story. However, kapag event recounts, meaning meron kang specific um, event na inattendan or pinuntahan. Okay? Example, your first fun run experience. For example, some of your friends and classmates doesn't attend the fun run. Ikaw, umattend ka. So, the following day, you see each other and then kinuwento mo sa kanila yung na-experience mo on that fun run event. So that event, that's what we meant when we say event recounts. Okay, babalikan mo yung napagdaanan mo or yung na-feel mo when you are attending that kind of event. Okay? Next, persuasive presentation. So when we say persuasive presentation, ang aims nyo lang ay to convince others to agree. Gusto nyo silang makumbinse. Ang best example nito is if nasa mall kayo, pag pupunta kayo ng mall, may mga nakikita kayo doon na promodizer. 'Di ba? Tapos meron silang dinedemo na mga products or equipment. And then, while they are demoing that products and equipment, pinapakita nila yung mga benefits and advantages. So, hi ma'am, pag bumili ka nitong vacuum, ganito siya kagaling kung paano linisin yung mga kalat. Or, hi ma'am, if you try our sponge, it really absorbs the water on your sink. So, kinukumbinsi ka niya na mag-agree ka at or bumili ka, kunin mo yon or i-accept mo yung informations. Another example ng persuasive is some of you will ask, bakit ba kailangan may tours? Bakit ba kailangan pang mag-tours ang mga tourism student? So, pag tinanong nyo yon, the college will say to you, syempre, you are a tourism student, you need to be part of the destinations and the attraction. Kailangan nyo siyang maranasan in order for you to know paano ba siya gumagalaw or paano ba yung standard operating procedures na ginagawa on that kind of operation. That's what we call persuasive. In Tagalog, nang hihikayat ka. 'Di ba? Minsan sa tours, oy, friend, sumama ka na kasi pag sumama ka may plus points daw tayo kay ma'am or exempted daw tayo sa midterm. That's persuasive presentation. Now, how do we plan a presentation? So in our day-to-day life, especially you students, you are always presenting, you are always reporting. Okay, so paano ba dapat tayo gumagawa ng ating presentations? Specifically when you are using a PowerPoint presentations like what I am doing right now. So ano ba dapat yung content niya? The first one is we have topic and idea organization. And the second one is the structuring your presentation. Now, unahin natin yung topic and idea organization. So, the first step that you need to take in consideration when you are picking your topic sa presentations nyo ay you choose your topic. So, paano ba dapat pumipili ng topic in the presentation? So, first is think about what you want to present. Pick something you're passionate about or curious to learn more about. Siyempre, ikaw yung magpe-present kung ano yung gusto mo, kung ano yung nakaka-catch ng attention mo, yun yung kukunin mong idea. Yun yung kukunin mong topic when you are presenting, when you are organizing your thoughts. So for example, binigyan ko kayo ng activity, sabi ko dun sa activity, you create a presentation about your personal experiences. So ikaw, magke-create ka ng uh, idea generation sa utak mo or sa isip mo. Ano kayang experience or ano kayang topic yung kukunin ko based sa mga past experiences ko? Because we have a lot of experiences. And that's your choice kung ano yung gusto mong kunin na topic doon. Kasi yun yung interested ka or doon ka may connections. Okay? But, mind you, class, in an organization, in the future, in the presentation, when it comes to topic and idea organization, hindi naman pwedeng kung ano yung gusto natin, yun yung ipepresent natin. Sometimes, when the clients ask us na ito yung gusto niyang topic, yun yung kailangan nating sundin. So, please remember that topic and idea organization is a case-to-case basis. Pag binigyan ka ng freedom to choose your topic, then that's the time that you will choose the topic that you are passionate about. But if you do not have a choice and the client give you the agenda or the topic, then yun yung susundin natin. Yun yung ifa-follow natin. Okay? Now, I hope you already understand the difference between storytelling, persuasive, informative, and event recounts. Later on, I'll be giving you what do you call this? Dry run. So I'm going to call random names and then you will answer my question. Next, other tip for topic and idea organization class is step 2, you organize your idea. When we say organizing your idea, ano ba yung pagkakasunod-sunod ng mga pangyayari based doon sa topic na i-discuss mo? Okay? So, plan out the main points you want to cover. Think about how to start, what to include in the middle, and how to wrap it up. Meaning, paano mo sisimulan yung kwento mo? Paano mo sisimulan yung presentation mo? And then, once you started your presentation, ano na yung mga inclusions niya in the middle of your presentation? And on the closing, paano mo dapat i-close yung kwento or yung presentation. So, you have to organize your thoughts, hindi yung halo-halo. Sometimes, when I am reading some of your essays, I see a lot of students na nauna muna yung experience, kunyari, yung kwento niya, bago dun sa effect or dun sa reason bakit niya na-encounter yon. So, hindi sunod-sunod, gulo-gulo yung thoughts. So, dapat when you are writing a presentation, it should be in a chronological order. Kung ano yung pinaka gist or overview ng story, siya yung mauuna. Ikwento mo muna paano ka napunta dun sa, halimbawa, ang ikukwento mo is your experience in Hong Kong kasi nag-travel ka doon. Hindi naman pwedeng sa unang paragraph ang kwento mo agad bumili ka ng souvenirs. 'Di ba dapat yung travel mo muna papunta doon. And then after that, nag-check-in ka sa hotel and then nag-tour ka and then nung pauwi ka na, doon ka palang magkukwento about your souvenirs. That's organizing your ideas based on the chronological orders that has happened based on your experience. Okay? Next, structuring your presentation. So, paano ba dapat natin nile-layout or tine-template yung mga nilalaman ng presentation natin? So, kailangan meron siyang introduction, as I mentioned. Okay? In order for you to catch the attentions of the readers, introduction pa lang dapat ay catchy na siya or attention grabber na siya. Okay? Next is body. Meaning, sa body, nandito na yung mga pinaka nitty-gritty or mga detalye ng kwento mo. Nandun na yung what they call it, detailed informations like, for example, cost of the price habang nagta-travel ka, saan ka sumakay, ilang oras yung biyahe, so on and so forth. And lastly, your conclusion, meaning you're going to summarize, okay, the things that you mentioned from your introduction and body. So, by having introduction, body, and conclusion, it really provides clarity for your audience. So they enhance their understanding and helps them remember key information. In short, kapag sunod-sunod at tama yung ayos ng mga details dun sa presentation mo, mas madali siyang matatandaan ng audience. Mareretain yun sa memories nila. Now, let's discuss it further. But before that, let's do a dry run. So, I am going to read the sentence and then you're going to tell me anong type of presentation siya. Okay? So, di ba meron tayong presentation, informative, storytelling, event recounts, at saka persuasive. Now, based on these sentences, tell me anong type of presentation siya. I'm going to give 2 points on the midterm. Wait lang. So, the sentence is, one day, Lily was wandering through the enchanted forest when she stumbled upon a mysterious treasure chest. What could be inside? So, the question is, what kind of presentation do you think this is? Based on the sentence. Other hands? Eman. Correct. So, storytelling. Kasi nga, sabi, one day, Lily was wandering through the enchanted forest. Based doon sa category or sa characteristic ng storytelling natin, it can be fictional, okay, or personal experience. And this story is a fiction, okay, or hindi totoo. Kathang isip lamang. Okay? Now, introduction. Meaning ng introduction class, so you start with a strong opening to grab the audience attention. So katulad nga ng sabi ko, pag gumagawa tayo ng layout ng presentation, sa introduction pa lang, dapat once basahin niya ng reader, ma-entice na siya. Ay, basahin, ay, ang ganda ng introduction niya. Siguro mas maganda pa yung nilalaman. So sige nga, bigyan ko nga siya ng time, basahin ko nga tong presentation na to. Okay? Next, dry run. Another sentence, by supporting our community library, you're not just donating books. You're opening doors to endless possibilities for young minds. Reading helps students secure better jobs in the future and contribute more to their communities. Now, what kind of presentation do you think this is? May I call on Rinans? Why? Okay, very good. Thank you, Renans. So, correct. Another uh, dry run siya. So, now, let's proceed with the body. So, as I mentioned, introduction and then body, meaning yung nilalaman ng presentation natin. So, you present your main points clearly in order and in order. So, ibig sabihin, you use facts, examples, details to support your arguments. Na make sure na kapag nagsulat ka doon, lahat ng detalye na pwedeng lumabas or mag-pop out sa isip ng reader mo ay nandun na, masasagot na. Okay? So, everything should be put in details on your body. Okay? Next, another dry run. So, from the mighty T-Rex to the soaring Predodactyl, dinosaurs roamed the earth millions of years ago. Their fossils are like ancient um, puzzles that help us piece together their stories. There will be more of them to discover in the future as long as we keep on exploring. May I call on Jedi? Jedi, nakamute ka. I can't hear you, Jedi. Walang sounds. Sige, you fix your microphone, Jedi. Cannot hear you. May I call on Shannon? Why? Ano yung binibigay niya? Anong anong support mo? Bakit nasabi mo siyang informative? Tama 'yon, yung informative, but why? Okay, so okay, I'm getting your point. So correct, class. It is an informative type of presentation. Very simple explanation. Bakit? It gives facts about the dinosaur. Okay? Next, conclusion. So when we say conclusion, class, you summarize your main points. Okay? And make sure that your conclusion will end in a memorable closing statement na mag-iiwan siya ng questions or ng what do you call this? Learnings sa mga readers mo or dun sa mga listener mo. Diba? Sometimes, it can be a questions. Tatanungin kayo, in your own point of view, who do you think is wrong and right based on the story? Ganun yung ginagawa nating conclusion. Kailangan nakaka-catch pa din tayo ng attention and nagiiwan tayo ng isang statement kung saan the reader should also be part of that presentation. Magiging participative pa rin sila. Meron silang contribution. Okay? Next, rehearsing your presentation. So it is really important for you, class, that before you present, you rehearse. Meaning, you practice your presentation. Practice, practice, practice in order for you to um, tag dito, become well-versed. Alam mo na lahat, kahit nakapikit ka, tanungin ka ng paulit-ulit or bali-baligtarin ka man dahil pinag-aralan mo siya, nag-practice ka na nag-practice, then you can answer all of the questions being thrown to you by the reader or by the audience. So, rehearsing your presentation several times will help you become more comfortable with the content and your delivery. Kasi for example, binigyan ko kayo ng topic ngayon. Tapos gumawa ka ng presentation pero hindi mo siya inaral. During your presentation, kakabahan ka ng malala. Why? Kasi hindi mo siya sa ulado. Hindi ka nakapag-practice, hindi ka nakapag-research, hindi mo na naaral yung sasabihin mong script or yung sasabihin mong informations. That's why rehearsing your presentation is very crucial. And you have to make sure that you also have your visual aids. When we say visual aids, the pictures, the photos, the diagrams, the videos, in order for you to explain your points to your audience. So imagine, kunwari, I am your professor. Discussion tayo today, pero wala akong PowerPoint presentation. Salita lang ako ng salita dito. I don't think so that you can get all of the information. You will see the difference if you have presentation or PowerPoint presentation wherein you can see the visuals, you can see the photo, the pictures, the videos, the letters. Okay? But you have to make sure that when you create a PowerPoint presentation, ang dami kong nakikitang ganito. Gagawa sila ng PowerPoint presentations pero walang pictures, tas napakahaba nung letters, nung sulat, tas hiwa-hiwalay, nagja-jump from one information to another information. So your PowerPoint presentation class should be by category. Halimbawa, ang title mo ito, dapat yung nandun sa baba is connected doon sa title, hindi jump ng jump. And you avoid presentations that are wordy. Boring kasi yon class. Yung ang haba-haba ng nakasulat tas pababasahin sa'yo, ang lalalim ng mga words, wala na. Malulus na yung attention mo. Hindi ka na makakapag-focus doon sa discussion. That's why I really do suggest, as you can see on my PowerPoint presentation, most of my PowerPoint presentations are made of pictures, bullets, um, short lang yung mga sulat because I want my readers to see something, but at the same time you are also listening while I am discussing and talking. Okay? Next, delivering your presentation. So pag magpe-present ka na, paano ba dapat natin dinideliver or sinishare ang presentation natin to our audience? What are the tips that we need to take in consideration? The first one is speak clearly and steadily. Anyone who can explain it to me, class? 2 points on the midterm. Speak clearly and steadily. Based on the definition that you can see on the screen. Teen. Yes. Okay, very good, Tin. Thank you. So correct, Las. When you are presenting or you're delivering your presentation, you should speak clearly, meaning your audience can understand what you are trying to say. Hindi yung you are delivering your information pero sobrang lalalim ng words, hindi na maintindihan. For the sake na akala natin, the more na mas malalim yung words, the more na mas magaling tayo when it comes to presentation, which is no. Okay? The simple, the better. The concise, the shorter, the better. Okay? Ang mahalaga, naiintindihan siya ng audience mo. Okay? Another one is, katulad ng sinabi ni Tin, the volume of your voice. So, tingnan mo, baka naman parang para ka ng pusa or ipis dyan, hindi ka na marinig sa pagsasalita mo. Or sumisigaw ka na, masyado nang masakit sa tenga yung presentation mo. Okay? So, you have to always take in consideration on how you speak. And when we say steadily, pag nagsasalita ka, kung ano yung target topic mo, you just focus there. Okay? And kung magbibigay ka ng example, it should be connected on the topic. I do not know if you experienced this, but I experienced this when I was in high school. Di ba may mga teacher tayo before na yung lesson natin, magkukwento sila. And then yung kwento nila nalalayo na dun sa topic hanggang sa mapunta na sa love life nila, sa buhay nila, hanggang wala na, na-lost na yung topic. Hanggang nagkwentuhan na lang until end of the class. Okay? So, you have to be steady on your topic. You just focus on the topic. Huwag lalayo dun sa topic. Okay? Next, look at your audience while speaking. Anyone who can discuss it to me. Look at your audience. Atasha. Okay, very good. Other point of view. How about Lanver o Warde? Correct? So, okay, very good. Correct? How about Jedi? Other point of view. Very good. So, all of those that you mentioned and explain about look at your audience while speaking are all correct and well spotted. Correct, class. When you are talking and presenting to your audience, you should make eye contact. Okay, it shows that you are sincere, you give them attention, you give them connections, and it boosts your confidence when you are directly looking to your audience. Imagine someone is speaking pero nakatungo siyang ganun. So makikita agad natin na hindi siya confident dun sa pine-present niya, na siya ay kinakabahan. Okay? That's why you have to always maintain eye contact with your audience. But siguraduhin natin that when we are doing eye contact to our audience is professional lang. And hindi naman yung parang tinitigan mo ng ganon or nilakihan mo na ng mata or pinandilatan mo na. So, iba yon. Okay? You just maintain good eye contact professionally to your audience. And lastly, show your confidence with body language. How do you understand this tip when it comes to delivering your presentation? Kate. Okay, good. The hand gestures when they are having these actions or they are moving their hands, meaning they really know what they are trying to say to their audience. How about Rinans? Okay, good choice of word, factual. When we say factual, ibig sabihin, you are really giving true information by your body language. Like for example, ng body language mo, you are nodding or you are walking inside the room while you are talking. So you really catch the attentions of your audience. Instead na nakatayo ka lang dito sa isang sulok or hindi ka gumagalaw. So it really shows that you are not confident with your actions and with your presentations. That's why body language is a must. But we have to uh, what do you call this, omit or tanggalin natin yung mga body language na hindi naman kailangan. Halimbawa, yung body language natin, meron yung iba yung nakaganito, naka-cross yung hand. So it really shows that parang boastful or mayabang. Another example, you avoid putting your two hands inside your pocket because it really shows that you are not confident when you are presenting. Kasi why are you hiding your hands? Okay? Another example is of the body language that you shouldn't do when you are presenting is yung parang yung movement na sumasayaw-sayaw or nagsusway-sway. So, iwasan natin yon. Okay, because it doesn't show emphasis on your point. So the better things or body language that you can do is the movement of your hands, the nodding, the walking, okay, or pointing out something to the audience, or pointing out something to the screen, so on and so forth. So those are the body language that you can do in order for you to show confidence on your presentation. Okay, and that's the end of our discussion. Can you guys open your cameras, please?